All right. Welcome to Big Ben's Boxing. I'm Big Ben. Step into my office. So, man, this is the weekend of. Gotta fix that. This is the weekend of David Benavides versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. First of all, I want to say this is that, man, Andrade is a very good fighter. Andrade was a champion at 154. He was a champion at 160. The problem is that Andrade is not popular. Sometimes his style is not popular. And so therefore, what happens is he don't have a lot of viewership. And a lot of people don't want to fight him. And the reason they don't want to fight him because it's like, hey, it's a big risk. It's a big risk. It's a risk that you might lose to this guy. And he doesn't bring anything, he doesn't bring the type of popularity that you want to the table. And so therefore you won't make the type of money that you make that you would like to make fighting Andrade. But, man, the man can fight. He can fight. You know, it seems like he comes in his fights and he starts off real rough and he takes his foot off the gas pedal and then it goes to decision. I know that Andrade had one time asked for Jamal Charlo fight. Jamal Charlo said, hey, man, I'll never fight you. And for some reason, a business decision that he tried to make, he pulled out of a fight with Jamal Charlo. He been chasing Saul Alvarez, but Saul doesn't want to fight him, and so it's just not, you know. And again, it's the business side of it. Listen, I don't think any fighter, and I want to say this, I don't think any fighter is afraid to get beat. I don't think any fighter is afraid of the physical side of getting beat. I think what they're afraid of is the economical side of getting beat and what would happen to their value going forward once they get beat. And so he tried to fight Gennady Golovkin when Canelo got popped dirty for eating tacos. Gennady had made a statement. He said, man, I still really want to fight on this date. I want to keep my date. So Andrade offered like, hey, man, I will come up and fight you. From 54 to 60, I'll come up and fight you. And Gennady turned it down. He said, no, I can't fight you because you're a southpaw, you know. But he never asked for that fight after that. Andrade was on DAZN, and I always say this, and the DAZN and Eddie Hearn is his promoter, and they supposed to promote you, but every time a middleweight fight, they never mention Andrade's name. Any other middleweight fight, any of their marquee middleweights, which was Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin, man, they never mentioned Andrade's name because they didn't want to make that match. And when Andrade fought, they never mentioned those guys' name. And so now, the reason that I'm giving you this background is because now he moves up and he's fighting David Benavides. And listen, David Benavides is a real one. David Benavides is a real one, man. It's a tough guy to fight. And if he fights David Benavides, man, hey, not only is David Benavides naturally a little bigger, but man, he's really good. And so to fight a guy who's naturally a little bigger and really good, and David Benavides had the same issues that Andrade had because Caleb Plant didn't want to fight him before he got his Gennady fight. Now, after he got his Gennady fight, after he cashed in, he said, okay, I'll fight Benavides. But man, he understood that if he lost to Benavides, he most likely wouldn't have got the Canelo Alvarez fight. Then Saul don't want to fight him. Saul don't want to fight him because, again, man, hey, if Saul gets a contract where he's making $300 million or whatever over so many years, and that's what they was first saying about that DAZN contract, whatever, man, he's getting paid to fight John Ryder's and Ivani Yildirim's and guys like that, Rocky Fieldings. He's getting paid good money to fight guys who's really not in his category. And so therefore, it's like, man, why do I need to fight Andrade? What is the business sense in me fighting Andrade? So Canelo never wanted to fight Benavides. So now what you have is you have these two guys that no one else wanted to fight. No one else wanted to fight these guys. And so now they're going to face each other. Why not, right? You got to fight somebody. Nobody else want to fight us. At 168, I'm going to give Mr. Benavides a slight favorite. He's a favorite, man. And it's not that Andrade can't fight, man, because he's really a good fighter. But, man, he's moving up, and this guy's a little bigger. I will say this. I think it's going to be a more competitive fight. If anybody thinks it's not going to be a competitive fight, I think it will be a competitive fight. It'll be more competitive than Caleb Plant. And Andrade has a winning mentality. He doesn't have a mentality of losing. He has a winning mentality, and he's going to come out to win. And I think it's going to be a good fight. And, hey, there is a chance that Andrade pulls off the upset. So he's a real live dog in this, you know. But if I have to lean, I'm going to lean towards Benavides. On the undercard, his brother, Jose Jr., is challenging Jamal Charlo. You know, Jamal Charlo had the issues, whatever it was that he was going through, and he hasn't fought in 2 years, you know. He was able to maintain the title. He was able to keep the title, and that's a whole nother subject. These guys who can keep these titles for long periods of time without defending. But then you got Terrence Crawford, who just got stripped by the IBF, and he hadn't had the title for a year, not even a half a year yet, you know. But that's another one, another subject for another day. But Jamal Charlo versus Jose Jr. Jose Jr., first of all, I think was an underrated fighter. He was better than what a lot of people thought he was. It's just that, man, he was with another company, another network, and he wasn't getting those opportunities to prove himself against some of the top names. Now, I know that he had a leg problem, but I would say this, is that I believe that Jose Jr., before that long layoff that he took them 3 years after his loss to Terrence Crawford, that time off will take something from you, you know? And so he took that long layoff. He did come back. He fought Danny Garcia, lost a decision to Danny Garcia, and his mobility was very bad. Now, Jamal Charlo, in my opinion, is supposed to be able to handle what Jose is bringing to the table. Unless Jose is bringing something that I've never seen before, Jamal Charlo should be able to handle it. But Jamal Charlo himself has been laid off for 2 years. I'm going to still give an edge to Jamal, but it's one to be seen. It's good. It's a fight. It's an interesting matchup. You know, listen, we got 4 guys who dare to be great, that's facing each other. And, man, I'm glad to see good fighters face good fighters. So I'll be looking at this fight for the weekend. And, man, I just hope it's a very good card, and we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about the results of it. My official picks, I think that David will win a hard-fought battle, and I think Jamal will win against Jose Jr. I feel like, I'm going to say this, Jose Jr. is motivated, and he did something that a lot of people don't do, because really Jamal and Jamel, they personality are volatile personalities, and it's easy to set them off and get them going. But the interesting thing is that Jose started on that verbal attack, and it kind of put Jamal on a verbal back foot. It's like, whoa, this man he's talking at me, he's coming at me. And so Jamal has not been who he usually, how he usually is and how he's been in the past, because Jose started on his attack. And so, I don't think that it should have a real large effect on him in the ring, but we'll see. We'll see. Interesting matchup. All right. That's all for this episode. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Man, please like, comment, and subscribe. Signing off now. Big Ben's Boxing.